What's up, guys? Robert Optimal Bodies. Now today we're going to talk about if you should train when you're sore. So we're talking about weight training or even cardiovascular training, sprinting, even just pedaling on a bike, something like that. Because once you train, especially when the first time you train or you're like quite new to it, the first few weeks you start lifting, so yeah, especially with heavy weights, you're doing like 8 to 12 repetitions, something like that. You're doing some sort of resistance training, you're working different body parts, you get something called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So it's that pain you might get, it might not be the day after, it might be 2 days after, so it's a delayed onset. That muscle soreness, that achiness, it's not like an injury pain, it's just that you know you've really worked the muscle. So let's say you're following a program that has you training, say for squat for example, say it has you squatting twice a week. You might squat on the Monday, you might have to squat again on Thursday compared to your program. That's what it's saying to do. So, but let's say Thursday you're still quite sore. Now, this normally occurs in new lifters, as I said, or if you've just the first few weeks that you're training. And from my experience and a lot of my clients that I train and people that I've spoke to, it starts to ease off. Now and again you get really sore, but you just sort of get used to it, and you're never as sore as that first time that you've trained. Or if you have a period of time off and you come back, you might not even be doing half as much weight as you used to be, but you get really sore. So, should you train in that sore state? Now, a lot of people might say you should listen to your body, that's always a good thing. You can try that approach. So listen to your body. If you sore, you might be sore for a reason. It's your body telling you to have a rest and let your muscles recover. Now, but you can try that. See if it works. See if you can still get results by resting a couple more days and going again. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you can train sooner, then you can squat more times per week, and then by the end of the year you're squatting more at the end of the year, which should equal more gains in the gym, more strength, more muscle, etc. So if you're feeling up for it, then I recommend training if you're sore and have you rested at least 3 days, so as long as your nutrition, your sleep is on point, so you know if you're not eating right and you're not eating enough protein and you're not sleeping, you're not going to recover. That might be the reason you're sore. But say that's all in place and you are still sore 3 or 4 days later, but you've went to go again, I would say train. And there's a couple of reasons for this. One, it might be because you're new to it and you get really sore just because it's a new thing to your body. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a lot of muscle damage done, because you gradually get used to it and you're doing heavier and heavier weights, but you don't get as sore. So if it was muscle damage, you'd be that sore every time. But from my experience and my clients, as I said, it never seems to be the case. So I think your muscles, after about 72 hours, they should be ready to go again. Make sure your food and your nutrition's on point. If they're taken out of the equation, should be ready to go again. So if you're sore, then as long as it's not something that's stopping you, say you're going down in a squat and it's just agony, absolute body screaming out saying stop. If it's just like you can tell you trained, that sort of background niggly feeling, and it's not an injury pain, then I'd say go for it, work through it. Just be really gentle on your warm-up sets and build up to some heavier weight if it's still okay, if it's not getting worse and worse. And the main reason is just so you can train more often, and that hopefully can equal more improvements, more gains, more muscle, more strength in the gym. So the message is, don't be afraid to train if you're sore. There's ways around it. If you're not, say you're due to squat, but it is sore, then go a little bit lighter. You're still doing something, and mainly this is aimed at people who like to get in the gym more often. They come more than a couple of times a week. They're due to come in. They want to follow this program. Then you can go a little bit lighter, do a few more reps, so it just doesn't feel as bad. Or you can vary the exercise, maybe do some machine work, do something a bit more controlled, like some leg extensions or a leg press instead of the squats. So it's a bit more controlled, and because you might feel a little bit unstable, wobbly compared to normal if you're due to squat again. But for the brave people out there, it's not for the faint-hearted, but if you are due to squat again, you can always give it a go, and trust me, you do get used to it. You get people squatting up to 3-4 times a week, and that just shows how much the body is capable of. So it's not always a good indication of muscle damage and whether to train or not if you are sore, because it just doesn't seem to go. It doesn't seem to follow a certain pattern. If you're new to it, or you take some time off, then come back squatting, you might only be doing a plate a side compared to 2 or 3. You get really sore. That is most likely not muscle damage, so the muscle can be ready to train again. I'd just leave it at least 2 or 3 days, and if you're still sore, then give it a bash. Let me know how you go on this, or let me know if there's anything personal towards you, like how many days you train and any specific questions, and I'll try and answer. So you can post in the comments below, send me a private message. So this is Robot Optimal Bodies, we're sponsored by Dan Fitness Clothing. Check them out, danfitness.com. Any other questions or video requests, anything like that, please post in this or to my page, Optimal Bodies page, or my private Rob Wardley page. Okay? Thanks for listening, guys. Have a good day. Cheers.